Have you ever went to publicly speak? You take that stage or that virtual meeting and you completely blank. You forget where you're going, your heart's beating out of your chest, your voice cracks, and you feel nervous as all gets. Well, you're like the majority of people that have given a public speech before. Speaking anxiety is very, very common, and it's one of the most common questions I'm asked by our clients. But how do you overcome that? And I always like to explain the why of why you're feeling that way so you can fix how to not feel that way the next time you give a presentation. And what I always tell people is what is causing that anxiety in the first place? Is it just you're feeling overwhelmed, there's a lot going on, you're worried about the judgment from the audience, they're intimidating? What is going on through your head when you feel that speaking anxiety coming on? For a lot of people, it's the judgment of the audience. But I really want you to remember this, that by the time you're done presenting, only about 20% is going to be remembered through that entire presentation. Now, go out a week from then. How much do you think is going to be remembered? I would go out on a limb and say probably less than 5% unless you had a really moving and impactful message. Now go a month out, probably less than 1% is remembered, unless you had something that was invigorating and really empowering to people that they could use, which should be your goal every time you give a presentation. What is some information that your audience can take away and use forever? What is that? That's a question you should be asking yourself before you present. But not to get too far off topic here, when you talk about speaking anxiety, overcoming the judgment of the audience and realizing they're not going to remember everything is a huge piece to really getting over it. The other piece is your mindset. How are you taking that stage? What is your approach? Are you preparing beforehand? Are you ready when you take that stage? What is going on through your head? Are you in a positive headspace or are you in a negative headspace? Because I can guarantee you, if you're in a negative headspace and you go out and take that stage, your audience is going to be able to pick up on it. But if you're in a positive headspace and you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to own this room, I am going to crush it, I have information, the audience needs it, think about how well you're gonna do in that headspace versus this headspace, the negative headspace of, I'm gonna fail, I'm not gonna do well, I'm nervous, I'm worried what the audience is gonna think about me. You're gonna have two completely different performances depending on what your mindset is. So before you take any type of meeting, any type of speaking event, really get in that mindset of, I'm going to crush this. I have information my audience needs and I'm going to give it to them. The next piece is understanding you don't have to be perfect. I've seen thousands of presentations at this point in my career and I have not seen one perfect one. So stop setting that bar for perfection when publicly speaking, because that bar, well, it doesn't exist and you're setting that bar way too high. And for a lot of us, if we set that bar too high and we don't hit it, we feel like we failed. But in reality, that's not the case. Go back to the first point. People aren't gonna remember everything you said. So if you make a mistake and you stutter throughout your presentation, you mispronounce a word, who cares? Keep moving forward and don't beat yourself up. Realize that you don't have to be perfect, and as long as you have a message that matters, your audience will listen. And one thing we always say in our workshops is our audience is a lot more forgiving than I am. You are your own biggest critic. Don't let that hold you back and speak your mind and be yourself. Being yourself is who you are. Insert your personality into your presentations. Who are you outside of work? Are you somebody that likes to laugh and joke and have a good time? Well, show that in your presentations. Don't feel like you have to be this perfect robot that stands perfectly still with your posture and doesn't make any movements and is very monotone. No, that is the absolute wrong way to do it. Just be yourself. Turn your presentation into a conversation. I promise you, the next time you go to take that stage, you're gonna find it a lot easier to present. Lastly, the most important piece is before you take that stage, do some breathing exercises. Take 5 to 10 deep breaths into your belly, really calm yourself down, reduce those nerves, and I promise you, you're gonna feel a lot more comfortable when you're presenting. My name's Jordan Jones, one of the trainers here at Effective Presentations. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and I hope to see you in the next one.